welcome back to my channel. Megan here with a video on how I save time every day. I talk about productivity a lot around here, so if you're looking to do the things that you have to do more efficiently so you can do more of the things you actually like, this is a great channel for you. I have a goal to start our channel here in 2020 with 1,000 subscribers. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you see when I have another video. I make videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Thank you so much. When it comes to getting things done every single day, sometimes we feel like it's these big, huge changes that we make that is what we need in order to be better at getting things done. When I was reading Gretchen Rubin's The Happiness Project, she referenced trying to find the equivalent of spare change in the sofa when it comes to time, right? So when someone's trying to save money or, buy something fun, they say, go into the couch, dig for loose change, use all those little pieces that help you add up to something big. And so when it comes to productivity, you can do the same by finding the equivalent loose change in the sofa. So finding tiny little pockets of time within your day, within your week, where you can get things done. I am one of those people that fully believes that big things happen little by little. It is just unrealistic for us to expect that we're going to have these huge unlimited pockets of time to work on things. It is much more realistic and logical and practical that we'll have a few moments here and there to sneak in things. So I'm going to give you some examples of things I did this week to save time. Maybe they will encourage you or give you some ideas or tips on how to save time in your life too. Let's get started. The first thing I did to save time this week was to order on Instacart. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Instacart or not. This was actually the first time that I had used it. I heard about it from a coworker, but essentially you pay someone to go shopping for you. So I needed to go to Costco. I needed to get some of the things that we typically get from Costco: bulk toilet paper and paper towel, peanut butter, pasta sauce, all of these things that I typically buy in bulk, frozen chicken, frozen fish from Costco. And I was trying to figure out how I could get to the store, but also do all of the other things that I had planned for Sunday. I have housework to do, I had computer work to do, I wanted to rest and hang out. I just kind of wanted to rest and get myself together for the week ahead. If I had gone to Costco myself, it would have taken me about 4 hours. By the time I drive to Costco, park, wait in line, go inside, go through the entire store, because you don't just go in and out of Costco. You got to go through all the aisles and see all the things and see what might be new. And then wait in line, check out, get out to the parking lot, load the car, drive home. We live about 45 minutes from Costco. It would have been a 4-hour trip. It would have taken up a vast majority of my day, and I wouldn't have been able to sleep in, make myself a good breakfast, work on the housework and the computer work that I needed to do. So I ordered on Instacart. Did it cost me more? Yes, it did. It cost me about $20 extra in terms of service fee and a tip for my driver. But the way that I look at it, that was 4 hours of my day, 4 hours of my life that I got back, that I didn't have to spend doing those things. She drove to my house, she dropped it off on the porch, and all I had to do was put it in the house and put it away. When it comes to getting the things that you have to get done faster, doing things like grocery delivery. I also love grocery pickup. If you don't want to pay for delivery, you can always do a pickup order where all you have to do is drive to the store and they come out and load everything in your car and then you drive home. I love doing that from Walmart. I've done that before. Costco doesn't have an option like that as far as I know. So things like meal delivery services too. That was another way that I saved time this past week. I ordered some HelloFresh boxes. I'm back working now and trying to adjust my schedule, and meal planning and cooking and all of that take up a lot of time. And so last week I placed an order for HelloFresh and I had 3 meals, all the ingredients that I needed for 3 meals at my house, done, ready, waiting. I didn't have to think about it. All I have to do is take everything out of the fridge, follow the recipe, and make it. Finding a way to streamline the whole grocery shopping, meal planning, cooking process is a huge, huge time saver. The next thing that I did this week that saved me time was call ahead. So June and January are the months where I take my wedding ring in to get inspected. To keep the warranty, you're supposed to take it in twice a year, have it looked at, have it inspected and cleaned so that they make sure everything's doing well on it. And my husband reminded me this week, he was like, oh, make sure you go do that. Like, it's June. Don't forget to go do it. And I've been really good. Like, I've been religious since we've been married about going every 6 months. And that store is about an hour from us. And I was planning to do that on Monday. And I was kind of wondering, I was like, I wonder what they're doing due to COVID. So I decided, I was like, before I drive all the way there, I'm just going to call them. So I called them and I said, hey, are you doing ring inspections right now? And she said, no, actually, we aren't. So thank God I didn't drive to the store. That would have been like a 2.5 hour extravaganza by the time I was done. And she said, don't you worry. We're giving everyone a 6-month grace period. Come see us in 6 months. And I was like, sweet, great. Save myself time by calling ahead to see what the procedures were so that I didn't get all the way there and it not have everything I needed or didn't make an appointment if I was supposed to have one, things like that. I know our generation is a little anti-phone and I totally agree with that. But sometimes it is worth your while. So making one phone call that took me literally 30 seconds saved me 2.5 hours of time this week. Something else that helped me save time this week was using my waiting time to be productive. So I needed to take my car to the oil place to get an oil change. And I drove there one night after work, and when I got there, they had 2 cars in the bay in front of me. And he's like, it's going to be maybe 20, 30 minutes. Do you want to wait? And I was like, yes. I drove all the way here from work. Like, this isn't a convenient, place for me. It really needs to get done. It's overdue. I'm just going to wait. And he was like, no problem. And it was an unexpected set of time, but sometimes ahead of time you're going to be waiting somewhere, waiting at the doctor, waiting at the post office, waiting for your car to be serviced, just anything like that. And so I pulled out my computer and I started working on a video. I used that time instead of endlessly scrolling on my phone, which is also totally something that you could do if rest is something that's productive for you at that time. But for me, I had to get a video out that night. And so instead of being frustrated that I was waiting and I was behind and I wasn't going to get home and it would take me even longer to do the video and all of those things, I just went right ahead, whipped out the computer and started working on something while I was waiting. Planning time ahead of something you could work on while you're waiting for something. Maybe you're waiting for your kid to be done at dance or baseball or whatever, is a way to help you save time. Instead of basically scrolling on my phone for 45 minutes while I waited for that to get done, I got 45 minutes of my video edited so that when I got home, all I had to do was start uploading it and it was ready to go. The next thing that I did to save myself time, this was actually yesterday, I was at work and my boss asked for a spreadsheet, a little report that he could use to help staff some of our events. And he needed it right away. It was going to take a while. It wasn't hard, but it was tedious. And I said, do we have anything like this, anything that's sort of started? Like, do we have a list of all of our events somewhere? Do we have, what resources do we have already that I could kind of start with? It wasn't done, what the information he needed in the spreadsheet wasn't done in an existing resource, but there was an existing resource of all of our events, and then I could just quickly go through and add in the information that was needed. Before you start a project or pull something that someone is asking for, ask yourself the question, do we already have something like this? Don't reinvent the wheel, right? If it's something that is already existing that might not be perfect, but if you start from here instead of here, you save yourself all that time in the middle. So do this for anything that you do regularly. So reports at work, budgets that you work on at home, any sort of repeatable tasks. See what you can do to not reinvent the wheel every time. Give yourself a head start, a leg up. Just don't waste your time if you already have resources that can help make it much more fast and efficient for you. This week, I asked someone for help, and it also saved me a ton of time. I feel like women especially struggle with this when it comes to doing things around our homes. We tend to just take care of everything ourselves and worry about doing everything ourselves when someone could absolutely help us and it would save everybody time. So for example, when my husband was out shopping this week, he was going to the hardware store. I said, hey, can you stop and get us some milk? We're out. I don't need anything else at the grocery store except for that. We're out. You're going to be at this store. Can you stop at Quick Trip and pick us up some milk? And it's something I totally could have done myself, but it would have been more out of my way and taken me way longer than it would be to make a special trip than it would be for him to grab it. That's just one small example, but tasks around the house like laundry or cleaning, things like that, ask for help. It's not anything shameful to ask for help, even though we struggle with it sometimes. I think that there are situations in where we all need help, and there's usually people ready and waiting to help us, but we have to ask. They're not going to know. Like my husband would not have known that we needed milk until he went to go get milk for cereal. It wasn't there. But they're not going to know all of the things that are going through your brain and all the things that you're trying to do and trying to work on. They're not going to know unless you ask. So save yourself time every day. Ask for help when needed. Today, I saved myself time by batching some tasks. So this morning, I needed to send out a couple pieces of mail, one to my dad, one to a family member, and I had to obviously get cards out, write on them, stuff the envelopes, do the seal, stamp, the whole 9 yards. And instead of doing one of those cards on Monday and one of them on Friday, and, kind of getting all the supplies out each time, I just went ahead and did them both at once. Batching is where you take similar tasks and accomplish them all at the same time. So I send out all of the mail that I need to send out at once. When I was cooking this morning, so I started work later this afternoon today, and because of that, I had the morning to myself. I needed to make dinner for the night because I wasn't going to be home over dinner time, and I needed to make some snacks for work. And so I just did all that right at once. I actually did 3 things because I was cooking our breakfast at the same time. So I cooked breakfast, and then while all the dishes were out and the kitchen was a mess, I went ahead and started making work snacks, and I made our dinner. So the kitchen was a disaster for like an hour and a half, but I just did it all at once. I was there, all of the things were out, the oven was warm, the stove was hot. I just did it all at once. This is great for things like errands as well. Like, don't go out of your house for one errand every day. Take one day, do all of your errands all at once, and then you're not wasting time going back and forth. You could do this with computer work or cleaning or anything like that. But essentially, taking the time to batch like activities together helps you from, wasting time switching in between those activities or repeating leaving the house when you could do it all at once. That was another way that I saved time this week. I hope you liked this video. I hope that it was full of tons of little practical, applicable, logical things that you can do to find spare time within your day. Again, life isn't about, and productivity doesn't mean doing more things. It means doing the things that you have to do better, faster, and more efficiently so that you can spend time doing the fun things, so that you can watch your favorite show or scroll on TikTok or watch YouTube videos, right? And so sometimes you just have to get creative, kind of hustle a little bit, and just find those little tiny areas where you can save yourself so much time. I feel like our lives are hard enough, that we all have enough to do, our responsibilities are enough, that it's like, don't make your life any harder. Make it simpler, make it easy. Pay for convenience when necessary, and a little thought of planning ahead can sort of save you a ton of time. I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back with another video on Sunday and Wednesday, all about organization, productivity, goal getting, and personal growth. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.